Thursday morning on Bright FM. It's about time for Bright Republic. This morning, you know how it is. On this program, we review issues on our various newspaper headlines, and we'd love for you to be part of the conversation this morning. So, in case you want to join in, the number to call us on is 0808 704 1217. That is our call line 0808 704 1217. Send us a text message on WhatsApp 0901 615 0614. Now, we're just going to run through all of the headlines that we have for you this morning. Then we'll go on a quick break, come back, and the conversation begins. You already know the drill. Now, let's look at this story right here on Punch News for this morning. That's our first headline for the morning, right here on Punch. Dangote Refinery loses 32 billion naira after petrol price cut. Dangote Refinery loses 32 billion naira after petrol price cut. This one is on Punch News. But now let's move forward to Tribune. Telecom tariff hike. NANS paralyzes activities at MTN office in Ibadan. This one is on Tribune. Telecom tariff hike. NANS paralyzes activities at MTN office in Ibadan. This one is on Tribune. Now let's move forward to the Nation newspaper this morning. Gains of economic policies by Shettima. This one is on the Nation. Gains of economic policies by Shettima. This one is on the Nation newspaper this morning. And moving forward to Daily Post, again, Senate summons security chiefs for solution to nationwide insecurity. Again, Senate summons security chief for solution to nationwide insecurity. This one is on Daily Post this morning. Now, moving forward to Daily News Hub, alleged impeachment threats. Ijo groups vow to defend Governor Fubara. Alleged impeachment threats. Ijo groups vow to defend Governor Fubara. This one is on Daily News Hub. Now let's move forward to Vanguard newspaper this morning. 7 rescued as troops repel terrorist attack on Governor Zulum's convoy. 7 rescued as troops repel terrorist attack on Governor Zulum's convoy. The story is right here on Vanguard newspaper this morning. Now that's all of the stories or the headlines that we have for you this morning. Now when we come back, the conversation begins. Please do not forget that we encourage you to be part of the conversation. We implore you to join in case you're a consistent listener of Bright Republic and you've never called us. I think that today should be your matriculation. Do well, to call in and share your thoughts. We've been welcoming a lot of first-time callers, and I want you to join in. All right. The number to call is 0808 704 1217. 0808 704 1217. To send us a text message on WhatsApp in case you're unable to put the call across. Our WhatsApp line is 0901 615 0614. Bright FM 98.7. Now we're going to begin with the story right here on Punch News for this morning. Dangote Refinery loses 32 billion naira after petrol price cut. And the story is right here on Punch. Now let's look at the detail of the story. The Dangote Oil Refinery is expected to lose up to 32.5 billion naira from its 500 million litre stock from premium motor spirit. This one is following the recent price cut. The refinery had announced a reduction in the ex-depot price of petrol by 65 naira from 890 naira to 825 naira per litre, effective from February 27. Now this price cut is the second in the new year, with the refinery having reduced the price of PMS by 60 naira earlier in the month. The loss is calculated based on the difference between the original price of 890 per litre and the new price of 825 naira per litre. Selling the 500 million litres of PMS at the new price will lower the company's expected income from the stock to 412.5 billion naira, down from 445 billion naira. However, experts suggest that the crash in crude prices and the marginal strength the naira has gained against the dollar may help the refinery recover its losses. The price cut has also affected fuel importers and marketers who have lamented the consistent price reduction by the Dangote refinery. They claim to be losing billions of naira due to the need to sell below the landing cost. The importers estimate that they may lose an average of 2.5 billion naira daily and 75 billion naira monthly following the latest PMS price reduction. Meanwhile, Nigerians have appealed to Dangote to increase the number of filling stations selling its petroleum products across Nigeria, with marketers projecting that petrol prices may drop to 800 naira per litre. Good morning one more time. Kebby here is right here in the studio with me. Good morning, Kebby. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
Very well. Thank you. Thank God it's Thursday. Okay, we're waiting till Friday before we say thank God. All right, we're starting this morning's conversation with petrol, a conversation around petrol price cut, and we're looking at how that the Dangote refinery, we're looking at how that they are expected to lose up to 32.5 billion naira. You know how it is that they reduced petrol price. This is the second time that they're actually reducing petrol price from in recent times. They reduced now from 890 naira to 825 naira per litre, and you see how that for a while now, since Dangote has been reducing price of petrol, Nigerians have been applauding him. Even though we're still struggling to feel the impact, in our daily activities, in prices of things and what have you. And we understand that we're trying to calculate some of the losses and all of that. And even marketers and importers are also coming out to talk about how that the way that Dangote is dropping the price of his petrol is also affecting them. The same way that Dangote is losing money, they are also losing money because they are trying to also reduce their own prices to also meet the demands and what have you. And we're looking at how that they are talking about that they're losing up to 2.5 billion naira daily, just following the latest PMS reduction, from Dangote's end. We've talked about how that Dangote is a businessman, and before they make some of these decisions, even with the price reduction, this second one is for the Ramadan. The first one was for the Christmas season. This second one is for the Ramadan. In fact, after the reduction for the Christmas season, it came up again. The pricing came up again, and then it just a second time that it is dropping. And just like we would always say, Dangote is a businessman. Before they sit down and they make business decisions, conversations around price increase, price drop, they sit down, they put it side by side, they sit with their experts, they understand the risk, they understand their losses, and all of that. So after that, after all of the calculations, for Dangote to still go ahead, to reduce prices, he understands what it's going to also do, to his business. I think that what he is also trying to do is to ease the impact of this removal of fuel subsidy and the hike in free prices to reduce the impact on the average Nigerian. I think that that's what he's trying to do from his own end. I mean, that's his own way of giving back. That's what I think. But just like we pointed out, marketers are complaining. Importers are also complaining about, because of the amount of money that they are also losing, because they need to now sell below landing cost. And moving forward, also Nigerians are also appealing to Dangote. I mean, if you can
800
sell, if you can increase the number of filling stations that are selling his petrol, do you understand, across Nigeria, so that more Nigerians would benefit from his price reduction and whatever. But also marketers are also projecting that petrol prices might drop again to 800 naira per liter. Now it's about 825, right? So they're projecting that it's going to drop to 800. What's your take on this one, Kevin?
It's always going to affect once they start reducing price because of the rate at which they are buying it. When they go out to buy the crude oil and all of that, the raw materials and to process it and all of that, the charges are actually high. So when it's now time for them to sell, they have to sell. When they calculate the cost and everything, that's why it's you see that they are also increasing their prices. So now that the market is actually going down and the competition needs to continue, so it's really going to affect them a lot, because as Dangote is reducing, them to have to reduce, and the pricing is really going to affect even Dangote, who is also doing it as a business person. It's going to affect him. And now the importers and other stations that are coming out to complain, it's also going to affect them, because the ones they bought before Dangote actually reduce the price. Now they are going to actually have to bring it down too, so that they don't sell it at, otherwise people are not going to patronize if they sell it at a high rate, because they'll be like, Dangote is bringing price, or they'll be like, our price of fuel is coming down and your station, or you are still selling it at a high rate. So the ones that they bought before, they actually have to reduce the price, so they are going to be at loss. But the thing is, we still want Nigerians, with a lot that is happening, we still want, even if you reduce it more than
500,
we will be happy. Even as much as they are losing, we were still looking for how it will reduce more than that. But the thing is, when they are buying it, is actually the problem. Is that the place they are buying, the prices, they're actually high for them. So selling it, they have to increase it so that they can benefit, pay their staffs, and also purchase again. But with all this price reduction and all of that, the ones they bought before, now they have to bring the prices down so that at least they can sell.
I don't know, you're saying where they bought it. I think that we're now at the phase in Nigeria where we're now refining our own crude.
We're still importing.
Yeah, I know, but it's their choice.
It's their choice, but we're still importing. We're still important. You remember the last news we took here that they said they spend 6 trillion, so we're still important. And despite we have our own refineries, it's not reaching it's not covering the entire Nigeria and all of that. And the prices too are so high. When they are buying the petrol, the crude oil and all of that, it's still expensive. So they actually have to look for a better place where the prices are cheap and all of that. So we're still important.
Now let's move forward to the next story right here. NANS has finally carried out their threat, but I think it was NANS in Enugu that even threatened telecoms at first. But the people that did not really say anything, but they are coming out to do something now, is NANS in Ibadan. Let's look at the detail of the story right here on Tribune. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, staged a protest at the Ibadan branch of MTN Nigeria on Wednesday, paralyzing business activities. The students under the Joint Campus Committee, JCC, in Oyo State carried placards with inscriptions protesting the recent hike in telecommunication tariffs. They blocked the main entrance of MTN office, preventing customers and staff from entering the premises. The protest was led by the executive chairman of NANS/JCC in Oyo, Comrade Ademola, who stated that the protest would not be limited to MTN but would also target other telecom services or providers. Now, Ademola demanded that the telecom companies reverse the recent tariff hike, which he claimed had increased data subscriptions by over 100%. He argued that the hike had made life more difficult for Nigerians, particularly students who rely on data for their academic activities. Now, the students' protest is part of a broader backlash against the tariff hike, which was approved by the Nigerian Communications Commission in January. The hike has been condemned by various groups, including the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and civil society organizations. The students have vowed to continue their protest until the government and telecom companies yield to their demand for a reversal of the tariff hike. Kevi, straight up question. Do you think that this is going to produce any result?
Well, strike and protest sometimes produce results. So, honestly,
in recent times, we're not seeing any results.
Yeah, but honestly, if I'm to give you my honest answer,
yes, please.
It's not going to do anything because what I've seen so far with everything that's been happening, is it the reps talking, NANS coming out, Sarah coming out? We have not seen any results with whatever actions what of NLC? That keep coming out, we're going to go on strike, we're going to go on protest, we're going to do this and all of that. At the end of the day, we are not seeing any results. So my honest answer, it's not going to work. But at least it's going to send out information, which it did. Yeah. Now we know that they are out.
Yeah.
But it's not going to move anything because it has come to stay, it has come to stay.
Somehow, I think that if more people come on board, see, let's not even, you see this issue around the telecoms hike is really affecting a lot of persons.
It's affecting a lot.
Especially students.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother is working on his project, so I know what I'm saying, with trying to do your research, trying to, always surf the internet, and the amount of data that you consume and the amount of money that you pay as a student is a lot, and I don't even know, because when the conversation around the hike came up in the first place, it's not like Nigerians totally dismissed the importance of the hike. I mean, for them as business people, but we're talking about how that 50% is a lot of, percentage for the increment, and we suggested 10 to 15%.
I suggested 5.
But they went ahead to do their increment with MTN even running ahead to do 200% at first before they now wrote us a love letter and reduced it and what. Yeah, a few days ago my friend was complaining that the subscription that he's on, I've forgotten what it's called, but in the subscription you have a certain amount of gig every other day, and it spans across 30 days. So there's a way it's done. It helps you also manage data, and it gives you. So he said they totally removed. He was just really angry. How is he going to do now and all of that? So this tariff hike, what we call text messages, data, especially because of how much a lot of Nigerians rely on communication, conversations, people in business, students, family people trying to reach out to their loved ones. We are communicating every other day, and that's why when NLC came out to say boycott these telecom providers, I mean, it was something that I mean, we are on this platform. We also exactly. We also said that it's going to really be difficult for Nigerians because I think that's the only way that they communicate. But you see, now that NANS oil has started something, I mean, because just like we pointed out, it's really taking a toll on lots of students. If other states, other schools, joining, and NLC comes on board, civil society organization comes, I think it's going to give it more volume, and it might, produce results. But just like Kebiya mentioned earlier, they just sent a message across to telecom providers, and they've also pointed out that they did not just come out for only MTN, right? I mean, here they pointed out how that they are also going to extend their gesture, their protest gesture to other telecom providers.
We know that in Nigeria, once prices go up, it has come to stay. It's hard before it reduces back to normal. Okay, we just finished talking about fuel prices. In as much as we are lamenting and complaining, so many times here we have talked about, can they take it back to 500, even 600? You see how difficult is it going back to that price? Instead, they just maintain the 825, 820.
But if you ask me, I think that we've actually experienced some level of reduction from 1,100 to 800.
But it's not going to go below that. Because now, see, just this one, they're complaining that is really going to affect their business. Do you think that they will want more situations or problems where they'll be like, okay, because of Nigerian issues and all of that, let's take it back to 500? No, they also want to benefit. They also want to make them. They have staff to pay. They have businesses to run. They also need to maintain the business too, so that they don't fall out. So I'm not really seeing in Nigeria where you see when prices go up to go back to the one we normally know before. We talked about spaghetti here. Do you think that spaghetti is going to go back to 500 or 300 or 400? It's difficult. So the thing is, once it has come to stay, it has come to stay. So even if maybe it should move, it should bring out results, maybe it's going to go for 35 or 20. If it should, it's going to go for 35 or 20%. But going back to the way it was before, now that they have tasted it, it's going to be difficult.
Well, the students have vowed that they're going to continue their protest until it's a lot of heavy.
I wish it was
vow right there.
I wish it was those days. Gone are those days when protest was a thing. When at least when you come out to protest, you know that
somebody listens to you.
It's going to bring out result at the end of the day. I wish it was gone at those days, but now it's not the same. We know how protest, if it should continue, you might see that they might deploy securities there. I mean, the last protest, they deployed 3,000 security personnel just to prevent the protest from going on.
So some hoodlums might just take advantage of that.
Remember I said inside protesters day. So the real protesters will come out and start destroying public properties and all of that, and building it back again is going to take time, and it's going to also take more money and all of that. So you see, they might send in security that might even make sure that their protest doesn't even last maybe up to 10 days or so. Even the last protest that they said they were going to make it peaceful, that Abuja protest that happened August 1st to 10th, they said they were going to make it peaceful. You see what happened? The shooting of tear gas and all of that. So you see, protest now in Nigeria is something that it's no longer moving. It's no longer bringing solutions. It's no longer making things right as before. And even when you talk of strike, it's no longer shaking tables like that. So To me, it has come to stay. It has come to stay. Plus, the government even accepted it and said, they need to pay their staffs, and also in order to provide to increase the how did they put, I'm trying to recall how they put their words to make these services better. So that's why they are accepting the increase. I mean, there are so many ministry sectors that accepted it. I will forever continue to use Minister of Power that said because of the increase, the light has been better. So it has come to stay.
If it is for better services, we're yet to experience any better services from telecom providers since the hike. Maybe they are still
working on it. They just started, so they need more money to make it better.
Well, let's see how it's going to. By the way, if you're listening, do you think that this protest that NANS, has started will yield any result? Because I mean, they have vowed that until the government and the telecom companies, reverse the tariff hike, they are not going to back down. We're just going to be on the side, looking out for what the outcome of this protest is going to look like. Let's touch one more story before we open up our phone lines to our fantastic callers. Now, on Daily Post right here, the headline reads, again, Senate summons security chiefs for solution to nationwide insecurity. The Nigerian Senate has announced plans to meet with security chiefs next week to address the escalating insecurity in parts of the country. Now, the meeting scheduled to take place in Abuja will bring together top security officials, including the Chief of Defense Staff, General Chris Musa, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Petokun. Now, the Senate's decision to convene this meeting is in response to the growing concerns over insecurity, particularly in Benue State, where suspected herdsmen have been carrying out attacks and killings. The motion to meet with security chiefs was sponsored by Senator Titus Zam, who represents Benue Northwest Senatorial District. Zam's motion was prompted by the recent invasion of a community in Benue State, which resulted in the killing of 4 persons. The attack sparked a protest by youths who accused the government of failing to protect them. The Senate has urged security agencies to take immediate action to restore law and order in the affected areas, and has also called on the National Emergency Management Agency and the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to provide relief materials to affected communities. The Senate has also mandated its committees on defense, national security and intelligence, livestock development and agriculture to visit this community for an on-the-ground assessment of the situation. Committees are tasked with expressing sympathy to bereaved families and affected residents, as well as expediting the passage of the open grazing prohibition bill. Senator Zam has warned that the incessant attacks on this community will significantly impact food production and agricultural activities, jeopardizing food security and livelihoods in the affected area. It's a good development. Is long overdue. I think that this meeting should have held, since the beginning of the year. Maybe they've been holding meetings, but we're just hearing this on the news. After the attack on the Benue community that caused some lives to be lost. People's food banks destroyed and what have you, and now this senator sponsoring this bill, and a security meeting now has been called for. The important personnel who call the shots as far as security is concerned in the country, they're going to sit down and look for a way forward. We've talked about insecurity a lot, and we've not gone far in 2025 yet. This is just March. And what we're hoping is that moving forward, there's really something being done to reduce the level of insecurity that we have, in Nigeria. We talked about it yesterday, and we're saying insecurity knows no tribe, insecurity knows no religion, it doesn't know whether you're dark or fair, it doesn't know your complexion,
Position.
it doesn't even know what party you belong to.
Mhm.
I mean, we just touched a headline now that they attacked Governor Zulum's convoy. It doesn't, right now, it doesn't even know if you're an elite or if you're a poor person. Because I know that some persons will say, oh, it's not affecting
For the rich
it's not affecting rich people, it's affecting them. Or it's just that sometimes when some of them are kidnapped, maybe they have the money and they pay. The last time it was in Port Harcourt, you remember, somebody that's affiliated with the oil and gas industry, I've forgotten the name, and he's like a stakeholder, you know.
Yeah.
He got killed. Do you understand the point I'm trying to make? So what the rich, the poor, whichever political party you're in, whichever tribe, whatever, whether you're a farmer or you're insecurity is affecting us all, you know, and whatever is giving these people audacity to keep going at it every other day, sometimes now in the mornings or in the afternoons, we don't know where they are getting the audacity from. And we've also talked about how that our security personnel are doing the needful. They are trying their best. We're just praying, you know, for when their best would be enough to solve this issue around insecurity. Whether you're in the north now, or you're in the south, or you're in the west, insecurity is affecting everybody. But now, our security chiefs have been summoned by the Senate, and they are supposed to sit and provide solution to the nationwide insecurity. I mean, what do you think would come out of that?
I love the fact that, though it's a little bit late, but I love the fact that they're actually doing it, because the insecurity in Nigeria, it's increasing every day. Every day you read the news, every day you hear one or two, you check your social media, you see that, oh, they attacked here, they killed, and the numbers of people they are killing is actually increasing. 50 farmers, 40 fishermen, and all of that. And you just keep asking yourself, what is the government actually doing to curb this issue? And at the end of the day, you'll be like, because you're not there, you just jump into conclusion that they are not working, they are not doing anything. Whereas our uniform personnel, they are actually trying their best to make sure that they curb the issue. But what they are trying to do is not like we're condemning it, but they need to make sure that, okay, whatever best they are doing, they add more effort to it to make sure to curb the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. So I love the fact that they are having
this meeting.
And it should yield results. It's not just by coming out to say you're having meeting and all of that, but whatever thing they are going to discuss, they should make sure they should bring it into reality and to try to implement it so that it can yield result for Nigerians, because it's everywhere. You don't know where you enter that you're going to be stopped or kidnapped or anything. It's everywhere. I mean, there was one time we were talking about insecurity. It's not just only the kidnapping, even what about the thieves, those ones that bubble into people's homes and all of that. So it's everywhere. So they need to look for ways they can curb this issue. It's not like it can be totally eradicated, but they should start from somewhere to make sure that, okay, they end the killing, make sure that our farmers are safe, make sure that our borders are well secured and all of that, to prevent it from spreading, because it's really spreading like a wildfire. There is no place that is actually safe. It's just that everybody is just being prayerful and trying to be careful and all of that, because it can happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere. I mean, let's use the example of that girl that was killed. Who thought that around my side that kind of thing is going to happen? I never for once had pictured that it's going to happen there. And this is somebody that maybe one or two, maybe he has even passed and I've greeted him, or and people don't even know the family. So you never think of something like that. So it's everywhere, it's spreading. So they really need to make sure that this meeting they are doing is to better the security in Nigeria, make sure that our armies are well equipped, so that when they are going to fight this fight, they don't fight it with empty, but they fight it with the rightful tools, not just using this, the local guns and all of that, but they are going in well to fight it.
Well equipped.
And they really need they need to do a lot if they want to really curb insecurity in Nigeria.
Let's also touch how that this motion now that was sponsored by the senator representing Benue Northwest Senatorial District. What prompted this motion now was the protest. No, it's not what happened. The protest of the youth. You know that when we were reading the story, we read how that they were burning up things.
Yes.
Do you understand the point I'm trying to? So it's not even that there's insecurity. It's just like the same thing that I told you that happened in Enugu with mothers, older women, grandmas coming out to the streets, sitting on the floor and crying and protesting and what have you. And it prompted a lot of persons to start dragging the governor of Enugu State. I don't know if you get the point I'm trying to make. So I don't know why it has to get to the point. I don't know if it's that, you know, some of the persons who are representing us, I don't know if it's that they're not seeing some of the things happening around us. They have to wait till it gets out of hand, till people are killed, till there's protest somewhere, you know, and people are expressing their grievances before they now look into acting. Because I mean, is this protest now by the youths of this community in Benue State that now prompted their representative to now speak up, that now, you know, prompted them to now say, okay, you know what, let's call a meeting and sit, as if there's not been
other issues happening or other people coming out to do protest. I mean, when that Lokara issue started, you remember when they came down to Abuja here to protest, and they were still prevented with the security from going in to express their problems. So you see, it's Nigeria now at this point is like they are seeing us as the masses. They are seeing the masses as we are not feeling anything, or we are nobody, or we are nothing. Because it's only when maybe we are angry or something, that's when you see them come out and say, oh, these people, they are really, really angry, they are feeling it, let's just talk about it and all of that. But if we're not moved or we're not trying to make a move, they'll just sit quiet and be like, yeah, they'll manage or they'll accept the situation. And which is not good. It's not good at all.
We cannot overemphasize the impact, the negative impact of insecurity in Nigeria. It's affecting a lot of things. In fact, some of our callers have pointed out that if insecurity situation is solved, you know how it is that people like Mr. John and Mr. Dala or Mr. Steve will point out how that if the government at least decides to solve only insecurity,
half of our problems are solved.
Only insecurity is going to impact a lot of other things, you know. So this is a call to action. We're really going to be hopeful that this meeting will produce results, because I mean, this is a meeting where the people who are calling the shots as far as security is concerned, they're going to sit and have a conversation.
The funny part is this morning, while trying to work on it to the news, I still saw a particular news that they were healing. I think it was I'm trying to recall it. I didn't look through the whole entire thing, but some set of people actually hailing the president and this administration, not just the president, this administration, on the fact that they're actually fighting. They have gone far in making sure that Nigeria is secure. And I'm like, with what is happening in Nigeria, you have the mind to come out.
Maybe, I mean, let's give them some benefit of doubt. Maybe they've started getting results in their own end. You know, Kev, you know that this insecurity issue cuts across, right? So now, with what is happening in Benue now, do you understand? The senator has spoken up. The senator has called for, meetings with the security chiefs. if this meeting produces result for the people of Benue, I mean, it's safe for them to come out and say, "Oh, shout out to the president."
Sunshine, it's not today that Benue people have been having issues.
I'm giving an example now.
It is not today that Benue people have been having issues. So this is not even something that's even supposed to even bring up now. They're supposed to look for solutions since long time when Benue people started complaining and started having issues with headsmen and all of that.
Yeah, we're talking about the group that you mentioned that is, praising the president.
The administration.
Yeah, the administration for solving insecurity. So I'm saying, giving them the benefit of that, maybe for their own maybe state or community or their own end.
They are not talking of their own end. They said the entire
in
Nigeria.
I think we have to move and open up the whole lives, because the average Nigerian person will not agree with that. Will not agree with
they will not even agree. That state, Kebbi State, that's actually still having this local issue. They will not even totally agree with that statement alone, because they'll be like. And remember one news we took here where they said local issue is done, it's dead and gone, it's over.
We're still hearing
about the whole issue that is happening there. So which insecurity is being solved, or which insecurity in Nigeria that is taking a different end?
I don't think that the government, will just be folding their hands. I think that they are doing something.
No, just get my point. They are not folding their hands.
Because if we say that the government is not doing anything,
it would have been worse
about insecurity. I don't think that's totally true.
They are not folding their hands. But the thing is that in as much as they are not folding their hands, they are not doing it properly. I don't even know how I want to put it right now. Like, let's not be like I'm trying to
let's hear from our callers.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Don't mention. I wanted us to touch this alleged impeachment of Governor Fubara, but that will be when we come back. Now, 0808-704-1217 in case you want to be part of the conversation. Our phone lines are open now. It's time for you to call in and share with us. Like I always say, if you're a consistent listener of Bright Republic and you've not called in, let today be your matriculation, alright? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from. I agree to Scotland. Good morning, Mr. Opie.
My own case is an senator that I found in the Nigerian Assembly. The senator that representing the
Benue State.
Yes. It's a weak senator. In the culture, and yes, it's a weak senator, and they have to go on also. Yeah? It's quite about look at your people are dying every day, come to the Assembly.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okwi, for your contribution right there. Let's also point out that, we've said this thing that there's really little or nothing that the people in the communities can do. And you security issues also, you don't take laws into your own hands. You have to also, that's why, whenever we're discussing security matters, we used to always say that, it's a really sensitive issue. It's okay that, out of anger, out of what is happening, we come out and say, this is what to do, this is what not to do. But there's always rules of engagement.
Yeah,
Do you understand?
ways to approach it.
Exactly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Victory.
Good morning, Mrs. T.
Good
Please, how
morning,
is
Mrs.
Victoria? I said
T.
I was going to ask you when you called today.
Okay, she's better
Oh,
today.
thank God.
The exam starts today. She has
Oh,
very much.
oh,
that's
fantastic,
great.
fantastic. Good to hear. Please go ahead. Good morning.
All right. Let me start with the Benue.
Mm.
See, that Benue thing has been there. In fact, it was so chronic during the administration of Suswan and Odom. And I don't know why this other governor did not toe the line of Suswan, especially because Suswan was very, very passionate about it. And then the new governor came. He's looking at another area. Security is more paramount. He has a senator. That senator now, this thing that happened, has he called the governor to know how far what he has done and what to do? And even the secretary to the government, who is his brother, three of them have just put them together. We go to see those places and see what exactly happened. So that whenever you bring all the security chiefs, you know how to brief them. You understand? You don't stay in Abuja and begin to make statements and think that we will know will not work. How many times have security chiefs been summoned in the National Assembly, right from Buhari's time? What results have we seen so far? They will tell them relocate to social area, some will not even go, and the president will tell you he's not aware that he has not gone. So our government are not responsive. That is the problem. They are not responsive at all. I don't just know whether they know what governance is all about. Now, you are talking about price hike on telecom, whatever. The government has already approved it. So why are we crying out? Because where they are supposed to do all this strike or whatever, it's gone. The government didn't even wait for them to do anything. And they have gone ahead to approve it. They have the backing of the government. So anything you are doing now is not a waste of time. Because we don't have a responsive government. If you have a responsive government, I know this citizens protest, we would have now said, okay, call those people to reduce that 50% to about 20, so that our people will stop complaining and complaining. But they will not do it. And they have not done it. Yesterday, I personally went to buy spaghetti, KD, 1,001.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
Easy.
1,001. And the man told me, okay, you know what I'm like that, Steve. So,
This is well.
I have to buy it.
That's the
It's not
same
to survive.
spaghetti that they said is 800 now.
Where?
Oh.
I don't want to pay transport to go and buy it from that.
At least let's confirm.
Yes.
You know, there are two. Listen, there are two types.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a red one and the green one.
And the black one or whatever.
Yes.
Those good ones, they are still selling for 1,001. The other one is selling for 1,000, not even 800. Selling for 1,000. So, I don't really understand our government is not listening to us. Until you get to the story of Shetima saying what their government is. I'll wait for that time.
Thank you, Mrs.
What I want
Kim.
to let you know is
so much, Mr. Say, for your contribution right there. Phone lines are still open in case you want to be part of the conversation. Our call line is 0808 704 1217. That is our call line. Hello, good morning. Alright, we will to call back 0808 704 1217. In case you want to send us a text message on WhatsApp, 0901 615 0614, 0901 615 0614. Also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Bright FM Abuja. Alright, be sure to join in the conversation. It's your time, so we're waiting for your calls to come in. Hello, good morning. Alright, do well to call us back 0808 704 1217. In case you're just tuning in, we've touched the story around the Dangote refinery losing over 32 billion naira. That's after the petrol price cut. We looked at how it's impacting both importers and marketers, and how they too are also complaining and lamenting on the consistent price reduction by Dangote refinery, and how that is also impacting them, because I mean they are losing billions of naira. We looked at that. We also looked at NANS, paralyzing activities at MTN office in Ibadan. They've already started to stage protest, and they vowed that they're going to continue their protest until government and telecom companies reverse the tariff hike. Hello, good morning. Good morning, can you hear me? Mr. Ruben.
Good morning.
Good to hear from you. Been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Are you guys?
Very well,
Very well,
thank you.
thank
Please
you.
go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Kevin, yes.
Kevin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm listening.
I can hear you, yes.
You see, the problems of insecurity, like I did tell you at the start, honestly, problem of insecurity that we're having today can be attributed to what happened on that specific day. When millions of young migrant Nigerians we are given an opportunity to elect their leader, and what happened that day? Their voices were silenced by the Baba and the Godfather, and their mandate on the Thursday line. Now, what is the result? The consequences of what they did on that day is what they are doing today. You see, to look at that this ruler stole Nigeria's mandate and manipulated their way to where they are today. The power that they fight for their power, that power that they have, are grabbed is intoxicating them. Someone that's stewed, anybody that's stewed, you cannot expect him to stay that place that is stewed. The market that is stewed are run away, and they are living in mansions. That is why they are not.
Hello, Mr. Ruben, are you there? Okay, I think that the network did a thing right there with Mr. Ruben. Please do well to call us back so that you can round up on your thoughts this morning. One 615 0614. That is our WhatsApp line in case you want to send a text message across. Alright, do well to do that. Now, we also talked about how that the Senate has summoned security chiefs, to provide solution to nationwide insecurity. I mean, the issue around insecurity, we flogged it time and time again on this platform, and we're just basically in case you want to be part of the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from? Okay, Mr. Okay. Yes. Thank you. So we're going to go on a quick break now. When we come back, I want to touch what Mr. Oki said. He might not have ended with, the right radio language, but he's trying to make a point right there. With what is happening in the streets now with insecurity, and you see how that these persons who are causing this havoc, they're coming from families. We're going to touch that when we come back, from this quick break. In case you're just tuning in, this is Bright Republic on Bright FM 98.7. Please do want to stay with us. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
You're about to listen to the hottest sound. It's the hottest mixtape in the world. Music, please.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Life by the creek. I ain't got no and no music never fades. I'm here since 3 days ago. I call Sean. I'm happy on the delivery.
A lot of corruption is petrol. I see them for hotel, I see them for markets. I need to see them, you don't know. They say give them in Bambia, but me, I never go to that house before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and the authentic, because it has never.
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays, 8 a.m.
Get ready.
I'm here since 3 days ago. I call Sean. I'm happy on the delivery.
I prepare it without a lot of corruption is petrol. I see them for hotel, I see them for markets. I need to see them, you don't know. They say give them in Bambia, but me, I never go to that house before.
Let's discuss the headlines and politics.
Going by the Senate Standing Orders of 2011 as amended, which is the genuine and the authentic, because it has never.
Get involved. Air your opinions. In this republic, we don't turn off your mic. Join us on Bright Republic, weekdays, 8 a.m.
Get ready.
Alright, welcome back. In case you are just tuning in, this is still Bright Republic on Bright FM 98.7. Two things before we move forward. We appreciate your calls, we appreciate your encouragement. But again, we have like radio guidelines. So, when you're calling, radio language is also very important because children also listening, during morning hours. And another thing also is that on this platform we give room for everybody to air their opinions. So we implore you to please respect other people's opinion while you also share yours with us. So that we grow as a family right here on Bright Republic. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, for always being part of this program. Now, moving forward, I want to touch a bit on, the points that Mr. Okwi wanted to, or the point that he raised before, that we went on a quick break the last time. And I'm touching this now also because I've pointed out on this platform time and time again that I work with young people. a lot, and I've also been able to interface with some sensitive issues like this. So it makes that when Misokwe is talking about parents catering to the needs of their children and not always, leaving them to fend for themselves, by themselves, because this is what is causing insecurity. We've talked about that beyond terrorism attacks and the insecurity situations that happen on a larger scale, we're seeing in our different communities the kind of chaos that young children are causing, with stealing of phones, with jumping fences and entering people's houses, with even stabbing people to just steal their phones. And I mean, we had a recent one of us also here was attacked. Do you understand the point I'm trying? They'll steal your phones, they might even stab you in the process. Now, on Daily Trust, a notorious bandits leader, was arrested by the FCT police command. He has his own gang. Guess his age. 21 years old. That's a young boy, Kirby. 21 years old. He has been causing terror. In fact, they found AK-47 rifles with him, bullets, 3 million naira. This is a 21-year-old boy who, has a gang of his own. It's not that he's working for people. People are working for this 21-year-old, boy. He is the hitman for this. Their gang is operating in Rijana Forest in Kaduna State. This 21-year-old has been responsible for multiple kidnappings and killings in both Kaduna, Lokoja, and Enugu highways.
If you come to think of it, how old do you think the people, his followers, are going to be? He's also going to bring in small people of the same age.
And for you to even get to the point, KB, where you now have a gang of your own, it means that it's not today that you started. So for a 21-year-old, that means he started when he was 18. You see, that's why...
If 10, 11, 12, 13, 14...
That's why, when Mr. Kui was calling on parents, I totally understood what he was saying. When he was talking about how that give birth to children that you can raise by yourself. I've seen, some of these marriage counselors, who also talk to parents and say that this is not even the period where you are giving birth to 5 children, 7 children. It's not bad though, but can you cater to them up until the point where they can now handle themselves by themselves? Go to the market now, Kirby. You see children, 7 years old, 10 years old, they are begging for what to eat.
Yes.
And you know that we reported on this platform how that people, because of the hardship on ground now, people are not even giving out as much again because people are trying to cater to themselves. Now, if they don't get money to feed, after begging for an entire day, they want to look for another way to get it. And it can be through harming people. Stealing, causing chaos, causing havoc. And you see how that some parents these days are not even, catering to the needs of their children, taking responsibility for the act. So some of these things are also breeding insecurity in the society. Some of these ones that we talk about how that they are unreported, that happen in our various communities. Who are the people that are at the forefront of it? When we look at cultism in schools, are those ones not from families? The family is the bedrock of the society. So as parents, if you cannot cater to your children, put them together. That's why during that time that the protest happened and they arrested those children, some of our callers were asking, where are their parents? Where are their parents? It's parents that gave birth to these children. What's going on with our upbringing, with our values, with our morals? These days, children between the ages of 13 to 21 are killing people. ritual killings to make money,
And
joining gangs, stealing.
Asking where are you getting the money from and all of
In
that.
fact, see, let me tell you, some of them are kidnapping
Their parents.
their friends. They'll just, okay, take for instance, now somebody was gisting, it was a parent that just, I went to visit them, so, because they are big people and their child is in a private school, and the mother was sharing with me, because we're talking about my boys project, and the mother was sharing with me how that even his child, that his child came back to complain, her child rather came back to, he's a boy, came back to complain that his classmates are telling him that maybe his parents have money, you know, that why is he not dressing how he's supposed to dress, why is he not bringing plenty money to school to buy snacks, you know, that his parents has plenty money, what can they do about it? And these people I'm telling you now, they are not even up to 15 years old. Are you understanding the point I'm trying to? So the mentality, our values, everything is changing. You know, children now, their own is, can I make money? Can I make money? And nobody cares how they want to even make the money. Whether somebody is losing their lives at the end of the day, or whether they are causing harm to somebody at the end of the day, you don't care. How can a 21-year-old
and even some parents who are
own
telling
gangs,
their children, you are of age to take care of yourself.
do you understand? These days, some children are now the ones providing
the home
for the family. Some parents are telling you, is it not your mate?
Yes.
Are you kidding me right now?
You tell a 15-year-old or 16.
I've heard
that one where the woman was telling her 12-year-old boy, your mates are already bringing in food.
So, shout out to Mr. Okwi for pointing this out, because I mean, this is also part of the things causing insecurity in our society. So parents, please, we're begging you to step up your game in providing, in catering, even with when doctors talk to you about family planning, when counselors talk to you about family planning, don't trivialize it. Don't think that, you know, they don't know what they are saying. Look at what the time is saying in Nigeria, and use your tongue to count your teeth, so that you don't give birth to children and you leave them for the streets to train them for you, and in turn, you know, they cause chaos, you know, in the society. Please, very important point that was raised right there. Now let's move to this story right here on Daily Hub. Alleged impeachment threats, Ijaw groups vow to defend Governor Fubara. This one is on Daily News Hub. Now, groups from the Ijaw ethnic nationality have expressed outrage over alleged plans to impeach Governor Fubara using the Rivers State House of Assembly. The Ijaw National Congress advised Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to allow Governor Fubara to focus on leading Rivers State to prosperity. INC also urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to intervene and caution Wike, warning that the federal government must take urgent steps to prevent a looming disaster in Rivers State. The INC's warning follows Governor Fubara being denied access to the Rivers State House of Assembly complex to present the 2025 budget. The lawmakers loyal to Wike had issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the governor to submit the budget. However, when Fubara arrived at the assembly complex, he found the gates locked. The governor accused Speaker Amaewhule of deliberately avoiding him despite attempts to communicate and a leaked letter informing the lawmakers of his visit. The crisis has sparked fears that it could obstruct peace in Rivers State, the Niger Delta and Nigeria as a whole. Elder statesman Anab Saraibe condemned the lawmakers' action, describing them as provocative and an insult to Rivers people. The Ijaw Youth Council has also warned that they will resist any forceful attempt to remove Fubara from office and may shut down flow stations in the Niger Delta if impeachment proceedings go ahead. This thing that is happening in Rivers State is now tiring to Nigerian people.
Yeah.
And the president at this point really needs to call these people to order. You know, Wike, Fubara, everybody on this table, you are not there for yourselves, for crying out loud. You're there for the people of Nigeria and in extension the people of Port Harcourt. The back and forth that has been happening with, you know, Governor Fubara, you know, the State House of Assembly people, I mean, recently he agreed with what the court said. Do you understand? He reinstated these people. I mean, the issue around him now going to present the budget and the gate being locked, at him, we don't totally understand it. Now, some persons who are also rallying around him are saying that if this thing persists, we're going to, cause unrest in the states. Is that what we want for ourselves? I think that, stakeholders need to come in at this point, from the different parties. The president himself needs to, they need to call these people to order so that you focus on doing what you were sent there to do, which is, leading the people of Port Harcourt and the people of Rivers State and bettering their lives.
The last time remember there was a story talk about this whole crisis that's happening between at River State, where you see they were burning buildings and all of that. We don't want it again to take place because they're destroying properties and it's not easy building those properties. The president has actually called Wiki and Fubara. They had a meeting, they discussed and all of that. The major thing is, I think at this point they just need to give an order. It's way beyond meetings now. Just give an order. Because for how many years now that the governor has been on seat, he doesn't have that peace. Like that peace for you to say, okay, I'm ruling my state. It has been up and down. Him trying to fix the state and also him trying to fix the issues that he's having and all of that. So the thing is, they just need to give an order to end all these issues that is happening at River State. Otherwise, it's going to escalate because now people from Bayelsa is actually coming to say if it goes way beyond this, we're going to step up. And you know what happens. You know what happens when issues like this come up, when they want to step up, they burn down buildings, they cut some refineries, they make sure that at least you feel the impact of them coming out, and which is not good to not just the state but Nigeria as a whole.
It's not okay that the governor, was denied access to the Rivers State House of Assembly even after he was given 48-hour ultimatum to submit the budget. Just like we pointed out earlier, the parties involved need to begin to think about the people that they are serving, the people that they are leading. And these are some of the issues that come up, and it would make Nigerian people to say that our politicians are there for their own personal interest and not even for the people at all. Because you're there to serve. That's why the people put you there. What's the back and forth amongst yourselves for? Focus on why you are there. And this back and forth and these issues happening in Rivers State is now distracting the sitting governor.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand the point I'm trying to do? Before it was the local government allocation being withheld. Do you understand the point I'm trying to do? Now he cannot even pass present the budget then because he was shut out of the national the state assembly rather. So I mean this their issue is now stressing out Nigerians, it's stressing out the people of Rivers State, and it is something that they really need to talk about, and the issue around this thing obstructing peace in Rivers State. If they continue like this, chaos is just by the corner in Rivers State, and it's going to cost loss of lives. Yes. Destruction of properties. And is that what we want for ourselves? And you see that now this one is not even the people causing this, it's not the politicians themselves. That's why sometimes when issues like this come up, like I mentioned earlier, people say that politicians are there for themselves and not for the people. They should look for a way around this matter and focus on their sole responsibility, which is the betterment of Port Harcourt and the betterment of the people of Rivers State. I think that our phone lines just keep buzzing and buzzing, so we'll just let some of our persons just say a few things before we now touch the last few stories that we have here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Can you hear me? Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Sunday. Good to hear from you.